Now, if you're from the UK, you probably know who Cow the Dragon is. He was the funniest TikToker we had, and none of it was intentional, but obviously that just made it funnier.
If being sexy was a crime, yeah, you'd be the guilty as charged.
And for a lad who was essentially bullied by an entire country, he actually took it pretty well. Most of the time. Sadly, that was never going to last though, because at a certain point, the guy just kind of broke. And the downfall that followed, it's not been pretty. I'm not going to lie to you. The guy was used by almost everybody around him. So when he did start to fall off, he was just essentially abandoned. And I think to really understand how this happened, you kind of got to look back at that time period. I actually found a BBC article from back in the day. And to be honest, reading and watching this back, it does feel a little bit like a fever dream.
Another day, another Garnsley game. We take on Garden Hoe United. You got wheelbarrows, you got your rake, a hoe, whatever it is. I just play against them, and our biggest rivals is Bin FC.
Meet Callum Whitworth, better known as Cal the Dragon.
Now, you show this to anyone that doesn't have the wider context of who Cow the Dragon is, it just does come across a bit, schizophrenic. The least amount of context I can give you for this video to work is that he used to play football against like buckets and gnomes in his garden. And he weren't just kicking the ball about either. He had passion, to be fair to him.
Number 7, number 6, number 5, drop back. Wait, all the way up there. Not this one. Don't let him shoot. I got him. I said don't lose it.
And as you can imagine, back in the day, this did go stratospheric. Like, he had whole football clubs commenting on his videos. It's actually hard to describe the cultural impact he had, because he was everywhere. And for a time, to be fair, it was semi-positive.
He's built a huge following on TikTok by filming himself playing football in his back garden.
So basically what my videos are, they're basically, I play against garden objects. I think our biggest win in the Gardens League is 27-0. And I think that's against Rock United.
It was a great day for the club. I don't think anybody's going to dispute that. And he had respect in the Garden League, to be fair. Even the captain of Brick FC came out. He sung his praises.
The thing is, Cal the Dragon is versatile. Like, he can actually play outfield, like, genuinely. He wasn't that great in goal. He wasn't. But then he went outfield, and he scored about 20.
Without a doubt, though, the funniest part of this BBC interview, it just doesn't reflect the reality of what was going on Cow the Dragon TikTok. Because in the interview, it is painted as a pretty positive thing all around.
Callum, who is autistic, says the success of his videos has helped build his confidence.
It sometimes inspires me to carry on going, because I'm like, you're following me for a reason. Just like that.
And has even been making appearances at nightclubs.
The happy stock music playing in the background, I don't think it reflects what's really going on in that nightclub. I don't know if you've ever been to like a UK TikTok club appearance. They're not happy places. It's pure abuse. I mean, we've seen it with Bevo, for example. He gets a bottle lobbed at him every time he puts his face in public. So to be fair, it's probably a good thing they haven't put the audio in.
Sometimes in speeches, when I achieve something, especially some things you think is impossible, that's what you need to do. Believe in yourself, you will achieve things in life. You will achieve stuff.
Listen, it's a good message, and on the whole, Cow the Dragon was doing positive things. You've got to respect that he actually put himself out there like that, and he clearly did well for himself. Inspirational quotes, like you just heard, by the way, were probably one of his biggest USPs.
Quote would you give to other people to give them a bit of a positive message?
Look at positive quotes, which I look at Google, to be fair, and I write my own sometimes. So like, never believe you're good enough, because that really gets a lot of positivity around. And
never believe you're good enough. I live by that, really. And at this point in the video, I've kind of got to give him his flowers, because his highlight reel is unmatched. You can genuinely just type in Cow the Dragon on TikTok and be entertained for hours, days.
There's a lot of people that in this chat flipping out. You're pointing kisses at the end. Jesus.
I got a couple of favourites personally, like that time he pretended to hear something purely so he could show off his trim.
So we have got to basically just thank Allsop for it. What was that?
And obviously, probably the most famous one, when he had a war with his brother. Now, I'm remembering this, and I probably am wrong. I can't find any context, though, either way. I think this might have been over a pack of biscuits.
It's me and your brother. You may be fucking stronger than me. I'm gonna fucking pull a fight against him, though. I'm gonna fucking fight. And I swear down, I'll fucking knock his head off.
The fedora completes it, really. It's unbelievable attire. What his brother did to him is actually nothing when you compare it to what this next person did. At a certain point of relevancy, a OF demon actually latched herself onto Cal. To be honest, I actually don't think this is spoken about enough, because as manipulating autistic lads go, this is maybe the worst example.
It's like close calls.
Yeah.
Would you say you're good with your fingers?
Depends what you mean by that.
Now, it's clear in all these clips that Cal has no idea that she's taking the piss. She obviously did this to basically boost her own reputation. And through getting more followers, she would be able to drive more people to her OF page. I don't know how much money she made. Obviously, I don't have the numbers in front of me or anything, but it was clearly a lot. And at a certain point, just doing it over TikTok Live wasn't enough anymore. She actually arranged to meet up with him.
No, maybe we should go out and make some TikToks. Yeah, we'll go out for some drinks after.
At some point, yeah, of course.
And obviously, what followed was brutal. I mean, you can go back and watch them. They're hard to watch. Respect to Cal, you know, he's doing his thing. I'm more worried about the people in the background, because they were basically using him like a prop. And this weird trend kind of culminated in an interview. The quality, for some reason, is really bad. You would think that an OF Cal would know how to record herself. Clearly not, though. Weirdly.
Who out of me and you would finish first?
What?
I mean, to be fair, I think we saw today who finished first, but...
Yeah, you did better than I thought you would.
Obviously, these clips are hard to watch, but I think the most important point is that he clearly has no idea what's going on. It's not even just this one either. This interview did go on for a while.
What position would you put me in?
If I was a manager in Allcry, from what I've seen from you, your passing's quite good, I'll give you that.
Thank you.
You got always to my feet quite a few times. I'll put you probably in holding mid like a Kante.
Even at the time, many questions were asked. Mostly, why is he wearing 3 pairs of shorts? I don't think anybody knows. It was clear by this point that Cal was definitely invested in Astrid. He clearly liked the girl, even though it wasn't mutual. In fact, he was pretty sensitive about the subject. When people would even mention her on lives, he would just kind of short circuit.
I've just been mostly focused on just my stuff, really.
Yeah, well, like the football stuff, like stuff with Astrid and...
Be careful how you say Astrid.
Yeah.
Not go down that path thing.
I'm loving your videos of Astrid. You did the Oh, is he gone?
Even to this day, I don't think anybody knows why he reacted like this. I mean, the greatest Cal the Dragon scholars have debated this issue for a while. A lot of people have speculated that it's because he wasn't going down that path. Thank you.
Not go down that path thing.
I don't think we'll ever know, but when it comes to Cal the Dragon, that's probably for the best. Another path he's never gone down, though, is talking about his relationship with Simple Simon. Simple Simon was essentially just a middle-aged man that hung around with Cal the Dragon on TikTok Live, which at face value, slightly creepy maybe. While I was looking for clips for this video, I actually found a very recent interview, and a lot of it was about Cal the Dragon.
I don't know where this pedo thing even started. I think it was Cal the Dragon. It's not like you were bumming him, or do you know what I mean?
Probably could we cleared that one up early doors, to be fair. That aside, though, there was a lot of stuff in this interview that we hadn't heard before. For example, when Cal was blowing up, Simon clearly helped him quite a lot.
I got him a collab with the Sidemen, got him a collab with Harvey Elliott from Liverpool. No way. And a few other things I got for him. And I didn't take a penny from it. I mean, he was earning decent money. I mean, I'm not talking about, I won't tell you how much, but he was picking up like decent money, wasn't he?
And all this was happening during like prime Cal the Dragon. What he says next, though, kind of explains everything that's happened since. Because as you know, and as we've alluded to, Cal the Dragon's had quite a brutal downfall. And there was one specific thing that happened, and Simon actually goes into it.
But that's the thing that really annoyed me, was that Cal's dad is just like
he's a knob.
Crazy. He's a knob. And he just wanted to take over because he saw the money. Before, he had no interest in Cal. You know, when we first met Cal, his, like, you know, the stuff he was wearing, like, obviously hasn't, I feel bad saying this, but obviously hasn't been washed, or do you know what I mean? Like, not taken care of properly. And then all of a sudden he's making loads of money, and then his dad steps in.
Now, in hindsight, Cal's dad taking over basically destroyed his career. The best way you can describe Cal's dad is that he is basically a regen of his dad. Genuinely put like 30 years on Cal the Dragon, this is what he'll be. He has an Instagram, which I clicked on, and the first video that came up, I think, it explains it perfectly, really.
I'm at a point in my life right now where I'm okay with what I've been through, and I'm ready for what's to come. I understand that everything I went through built what I'm looking at in the mirror. And that person is strong, smart, wise, intelligent, and motivated. And I wouldn't trade that version of me for anything.
He is just Cal the Dragon with an age filter, and it's kind of poetic, really. But yeah, he took over and clearly kind of cut him off from everybody else on TikTok, which, to be fair, probably isn't a bad thing. If you see your son knocking around with Astrid Wet and Simple Simon, the least you can do is try and get him away from that situation, really.
I got a message from his dad saying I want to be on the emails. And he went on there and changed the password and stopped me going on there completely. And then I just got another message saying, I'm taking over all Cal's stuff now. Thanks very much for your time, basically. Then all of a sudden, he was getting all this advice where, not to do anything with Astrid, because obviously Astrid does what she does, that's her choice, so her life, she does what she does, and because it wasn't good for his brand. And then I was bought into that as well, because I'd done a collab with Astrid.
No, he's got every right to be fair, he is his dad. Doesn't change the fact, though, that he did kind of doom him. For one, he was kind of interjecting himself into all of Cal's content. There was like this charity match which he played in for some reason, and he just obviously kind of humiliated himself. For a man that markets himself as Cal the Dragon security, it's not looking good. And this weren't even a low point, because what followed was basically the death of Cal the Dragon. Because Cal released a song, and I'm not gonna lie to you, this was the final nail in the coffin. Some people have theorised that he is indeed Cal the Dragon. If I find out, I'll let you know. But yeah, this song, under new management, is obviously just a disaster class. It was never going to be anything else, but despite being awful, it got zero traction, and the lyrics are just kind of diabolical, really. Imagine getting a song ghost written for you, and they put in the lyrics, they say I'm a freak. Whoever says that, you should be ashamed of yourself. The music video, somehow, wasn't even the low point. He did a live performance, and to be fair, I'll just let it speak for itself. First of all, get him out of Dubai. I don't think that's necessarily his target demographic. Second of all, he needs to get back on the circuit. By the sounds of it, in that same podcast from earlier, he has just permanently cut off all his friends. I don't know if you can call them friends.
Yeah. So it's like, is that relationship just done? Is that you guys?
It is. It's unfortunate. I mean, I've messaged Cal a couple of times recently, and he hasn't messaged me back. I'm a bit disappointed about it, really, because I really did look after him, and didn't I?
Yeah.
And he hasn't messaged back, but do you know what? In a weird way, this is not weird, but I really miss doing the predictions with him. You used to do the predictions every week.
I used to watch them actually. They were good.
Yeah,
good like content.
That was like prime. That was prime TikTok back in the day.
That is kind of it, to be fair. Like, I feel like prime UK TikTok was a bunch of demons in a lobby together. The funny part, obviously, was the interactions. Nobody would care if Simple Simon was off in his own, I don't know, staring at the wall. So Cal has been misguided, but you know what? It's actually not too late. We might still see Prime Cal the Dragon back. I'm hoping for it. He deserves it more than some of the people still kicking around. And with that said, I'll leave you with one last generational Cal the Dragon clip.
Before you ask, no, I haven't had me hair cut. It's just slipped back. I just slipped it back. I just slipped it back, that's all, and it looks quite good. That's all I've done, I've only just slipped it back.